Yo, what's good, Mitsu? I'm your guide Q. Welcome to some cringetopia and sad cringe. Let's feel the pain. So, I do not have any context for this, but this guy is at a party talking to a girl. Okay, we'll just watch it for a second time. He goes in for the hug. I don't know why, and then this guy comes in and hugs her. Like, does he take... What was happening here? Why was he going in for that move? What was the signal? Did he think because she smiled it was time for him to hug her? Okay, so I'm not sure what the context is for this one, but the caption is gave bro a vitamin C pill and told him it was a perk. And I don't think that happened, but I am curious as to why this dance, I want to call it that, is happening. It looks like something that like Freddy the Fazbear would do in an animation or like an anime character. It looks like the sort of thing that would be cool in your head if you're imagining yourself as an anime character doing it, but when it's a real person in real life, it just kind of looks silly. I don't know. Somebody explain to me what's going on. Alright, this one's from 4chan. This girl was making small talk and giving signals she was interested. We talked for 5 minutes about anime we both watched that I never met anyone who saw it. She also said that she liked my Legend of Zelda shirt, and she talked about her Breath of the Wild experiences. The girl said, well, I better be off before another delivery comes. I then made an enormous mistake. I said, wait. She turned. I told her, I'm eating pizza alone, and I'm willing to share it with you if you want to hang out and watch the show with me. I didn't think this would be a big deal at all because it felt so natural and comfortable, but she immediately changed. Her face got haunted and her eyes got creeped out big time. She was really nervous. She said, I have to go. Goodbye, sir. I was so shaken by her reaction because it felt she thought I was about to do something bad to her or something. I ate the pizza alone in my apartment in the dark. Didn't even watch anything. I felt sad. I felt like I was in high spirits because she was nice and gave me attention. I thought maybe I'm not a loser as much as I thought. But the moment I invited her, the reality crashed that I'm just a monster. Guess what? Well, about 2 hours later, I get a message from the DoorDash saying my account has been closed. She not only embarrassed me, but she reported me for harassment. This is a doozy, because the guy, like, he's not right at the end, but he's right earlier on that, like, you did make an enormous mistake. You actually had a decent conversation with the woman, and then you were like, I'm eating pizza alone. Wanna come up to my apartment and eat it with me and watch the show? Like, if you guys were friends, that would be normal, but she's just out on a delivery, and you're like, you wanna come to a stranger's apartment? Like, it's just not the move, and, yeah, this is, rough. Alright, this is some next level stuff. This kid, I guess he got in trouble in class or something, and this is an altercation he had with his teacher.
So what I need you to do right now is I'm not real comfortable with you being in this place and this stuff, so I'm going to back up a little bit.
Good.
I'm going to back up.
Back up. Right all the way to your desk.
No, I will not do it. Would you please call security? This is threatening behavior. We need an officer in here.
You dare to humiliate me. You think you can do that?
Are you kidding me?
Well, I don't think that why.
Okay, so not only does this kid think he's in an anime, but he thinks that he is literally Batman. Like, I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to be intimidating. I don't know what this teacher's like. She could be the meanest person on the planet. But if you're trying to come across as tough, maybe stepping to a 60-year-old woman is not the best way to do it. Like, pick your battles, my guy. Maybe punch a bully or something like that. But this whole anime act and trying to stand your ground against a woman that is older and shorter than you is maybe not the move. Alright, so we're gonna watch a little bit of this. It's hard to explain. This is a TikTok live stream. Okay, so people were saying that this streamer earns $500,000 a year and streams for hours a day just doing this sort of thing. Like, no talking, no conversation, no interaction with the chat, just like idle animations from a video game. Like, you are playing a game, you're talking to a character, and they have like an idle position, and then they move like, that's all she's doing. And like, I am perfectly fine with people making money off of simps or fans or whatever, but this is just next level. Like, these, like, the people that donate really need to rethink their lives. Like, we're gonna talk about a streamer thing later in this video, but there's like no connection here. There's not even like a human quality to this stream. It's literally just a video game character. I don't even know. I do not even know. Somebody try and justify this to me. I'm begging. Also, just want to clarify, not justify the streamer doing it, justify why people donate, because I don't really have a problem with the streamer just doing what works. Alright, this is a long one, but trust me, it's worth it. I'm not sure what this thread was in reference to, but this person's giving a suggestion. You could always try being a Twitch streamer. I got $17,000 in inheritance from my grandmother a couple years ago, and one of my hobbies was finding random streamers to shower with cash out of nowhere. I've learned through that it's best to just do it randomly to someone who seems cool, then move on like Mary Poppins. If you get a crush on a woman and think you can buy her heart, you're gonna have a bad time. It's a bit like when there was this cute, earthy college student who mostly streamed Hearthstone that I used to watch obsessively and eventually worked up the nerve to stop lurking and join chat. I broke the ice with a $500 donation. And after a slow start, I found my groove and started riffing off of everything she said, and kind of became something of an Ed McMahon to her Carson. I'm only 32, but I'm pretty much an 80s guy at heart, and I'd need to send her about a dozen Wikipedia articles and YouTube links a day so she'd get all my references. Anyhow, one of her many quirks was how she'd take tiny nibbles of food whenever she ate on stream, and I'd playfully tease her about how she was half rabbit. It became what I thought was a beloved inside joke in chat, and I made a couple fun compilation videos of her eating crossed with clips from the Bucky O'Hare show and Watership Down that synced up with her. I even paid $400 for a pixel art gif of her as Reader Rabbit, which she played on stream once, nibbling away. I'm not going to lie, I thought she loved the joke just as much as I did, and I even had the GIF artist do up a pic of us as rabbit bride and groom on top of a wedding cake. This was something to have in my back pocket 3 years down the line, well after we started dating. Don't worry, I wasn't crazy, folks. When I googled her WoW, Neopets, etc. nickname she used as a teenager, and sometimes used for Reddit accounts, etc. today, and there was a post on a female streamers forum about how there was a guy in her chat who was cool at first but was starting to get way too obsessive and was starting to dominate the conversation and drive other people away, and how upset and conflicted she was because he seems really nice and well-meaning and doesn't realize how uncomfortable he was making her and everyone else. She has a brother who has Asperger's, and so she's seen this kind of thing before and wants to know how to best to gently suggest to him that he tones it down without hurting his feelings. She then talked about how it's extra awkward because he's basically been allowing her to make rent the past few months with donations, but it's to the point where it's not worth trying to make a living streaming if it means having to deal with him every day. The transition to feeling on top of the world, I just spent 4 hours straight fapping to what I thought was our inevitable honeymoon, to like human garbage was dramatic, and I almost threw up, but I just cried myself to sleep instead. The main thing is that she was happy, and like Jorah with Daenerys, I needed to leave her be. I still lurked, of course, and watched her stream 5 hours a day, until of course the end of the month came around, and from her comments on financial advice Reddits, she was getting desperate, and she started nonchalantly noticing my absence, and saying, "Malgal, where are you? Someone needs to start putting his pictures on milk cartons, man, ha ha ha." There's a particular streamer I knew she strongly disliked who was pretty much the opposite of her in every way. My crush was a lot like Felicia Day, and this woman was pretty much the archetype of the intimidating FPS chick. This woman also ended up dating a male streamer she had a massive crush on, and she pretty much saw her as being the opposite of all the insecurities she had about herself. Anyhow, it was pretty glorious to lurk in her chat and see her reaction when it blew up with people going, "Holy shit, Malgol just donated $700 to FPS chick." Just the look of utter confusion on her face would have broken my heart if I didn't know how duplicitous she truly was. She ended up PMing me, "What's going on? What did I do?" But after sending screenshots of all of her forum posts, I almost didn't want to include our wedding picture and make it her truly live with the regret for the rest of her life after realizing I saw her as wife material. We've both moved on, she finally started streaming again and has a job in the gaming industry, and I think I've finally found my future wife who I'm going to spend my remaining inheritance on, but it's still tragic to realize that the one shot at true love either of us will probably ever have in our lives was ruined by something as silly as poking fun at how a person nibbles their food. I really got my heart broken here because at the beginning of this post, like, it felt so real, and it starts to get faker and more satirical towards the end, but I still like it because it creates a character that I really like that's just an exaggeration of a real person that has, like, a horrible parasocial relationship with a streamer. I wish that somebody would make a movie about a character like this, like a horror movie where, like, a fan is really interested in a streamer and it just goes over the top and gets really dark. I'm sure we will see that in the future if streaming stays as popular as it is. Hey, I just put out a new cringy 2-sentence horror stories video a few days ago. It's in the top right corner of the screen. If you're interested, click on that. It'll also be in the comments in the description. Yeah, hey, I would like to give a major shout out to Anna, Matthew Kendall, Caitlin, Brett the Dork, Ashton Jake. It sounded like I said Brett the Dork. Beth the Dork, Ashton Jacobson, June, ... Bobby Brain, Alicia, Kennedy DeSilvis, Tapey, Hyper Ninja Child, Jared D, Regrettable Stitches, Allison B, Kaya Bay, Brittany, and, Catco. So, and everyone else you see on your screen for being top of your channel members. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys soon. Skate on the best of your abilities, drink some water, and, peace out, Cub Scouts.